Welcome back to another episode of Van to Land. In big news today, I forgot my socks. So I'm in Jandals and I've been out here for a few hours already and been bitten by so many ants. It just reminded me, like triple reminded me really, that I need to remember to bring socks so that I can wear boots. Because walking around in Jandals, not as much fun. So I feel like there's a lot of new stuff over the past week. Where to start? So I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you some new areas and things that I've been sort of hard at work on. So part one, we'll start with this sort of sad news, is that there have been a few deaths in the family over the past week. The tomato plants are not doing particularly well. I mean, they're still sort of here. So where is it? There, that one there. They're okay, and some of them are starting to grow their third leaf, so I guess that's progress. It's just really slow progress. And definitely, there have been some of them that have disappeared back into the soil, but the garlic chives are doing still quite well. They're like multiplying all over the place, and that's really good to see. I'm happy with that. The eggplant, they're doing pretty well, but still quite slow. Like, they're not dying, so again, that's good, but I was just hoping that they would have a lot more leaves on them by now, and they don't really. The stevia doing pretty good. The beans, oh my goodness, the beans are, some of them are onto their like sixth leaf already. So they're growing up really quite quickly, and pretty happy with that. I haven't done any fertilizing or adding of like really compost or anything. I've just dumped some mulch on obviously the garden. So we'll see how that goes, but I feel like maybe I need to start looking into fertilizer and stuff. Just, like organic stuff that I can hopefully work some miracles with. Some of I'll try and get it into the sun. The lettuces and stuff, most of them have died in the heat wave from this week. We really haven't had much rain at all, and it's just like cloudless or extremely sunny days every day after every day after every day. So I think these are quite slow to grow, but again, not dead for at least a few of them. Just not growing super quickly. And the pak choi, pretty similar, although the pak choi seem to be maybe a little bit stronger. So they're still quite tiny. I was, again, hoping that they would have much bigger leaves on them. The cucumbers are doing really well, but they have been getting eaten. This one, I feel like I'm always standing in the way. So they're getting sort of their sixth leaves on them as well for most of them, but they're also, like this one. It gets eaten, and then I discovered what bug it was because I caught the bugs red-handed. They're pumpkin beetles. And so I got some neem oil and mixed it up in some other stuff, and again, all like organic-y natural stuff, and then sprayed it on. So hopefully that's the last of things getting eaten. The watermelon doing really well. The shallots, these were the first things that I ate from the garden. It was just yesterday actually, and they're just growing so tall and so fast now that I just decided to pull one off and eat it, and it was fantastic and amazing. And where's that? Oh, this is the best watermelon here. So so they're growing quite well, or at least the majority of them are. I still haven't planted anything in this area here because I thought, with all the things that have kind of disappeared back into the soil on these two rows, that there's lots of room left. And because it has been so hot and sunny, I've tried not to do any transplanting, just because I think the likelihood of things actually making it through all of that sun and heat are slim to none. The things that are growing in here though, these are the gherkin cucumbers, and I can't remember what is next to them, but they're getting their third leaves, so they're ready for transplanting, I think. pretty much whenever. Something amazing that has saved me so much time is I finally got around to getting an irrigation pipe and a little shut-off valve, and so it just runs all the way up to the street, and I can fill up the jug, and this is the jug I use here, so it just saves me all of that walking, and quite thankful for all that. These are the papaya, or at least most of the papaya, and yeah, they've had quite a good week as well. And this one here, you might remember this one from over there, but in its place are now 2 great big holes. So this used to be the pawpaw, the original pawpaw tree, and that was the one that I just showed a moment ago. And I'll show you where the pawpaw ended up. So I think maybe I mentioned in one of the previous videos that I'd accidentally whippersnippered one of the papaya on the far corner, and I decided that it was not coming back. And so here it is, and I thought I'd come by today and the leaves would be all wilty and falling off, like papayas seem to do when you move them to a new location, but so far it is surprisingly good, and I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but I'm just not too sure why it seems to be okay at the moment, because the last time I moved it was like by the next day it was getting all wilty and droopy, and it was very obviously not enjoying the move, but seems to be doing well so far, knock on wood. And then the rest of the papaya forest is doing great as well. This one, I don't think it lost any leaves when I moved that one in. Well, it's the double papaya here. And like everything else, I'll show you an example here. So this used to be just the bare stalk, and now it's just got leaves, covering it. And that's pretty much the same with all of the other ones. They're all just very happily growing lots of new leaves. The mango tree that was over by the guava is now moved over here, and I hope it'll do all right over here. The concern was that in its old place by the guava, it could have been it's a dwarf mango, but I don't know how big dwarves actually get. But this tree over here, that's a mango tree as well, and so it's just a bit of a concern, like if I left this little one and it managed to keep growing, then it would grow up to be that big and it would cover the neighbor's yard and everything. And I was like, probably not a great idea. So that's why I ended up getting moved. And then I was super sad about this. Last week I got, probably can barely even see it, but this is actually a jackfruit tree. And it used to have lots of, it used to come all the way up here. It used to have lots of leaves, and it was a beautiful tree. But then either it got blown over in the wind or some animal came through, and it definitely wasn't eaten. It was just, it had just cracked off from here. And so I don't know if it'll keep growing. I feel like I'll give it another few weeks and see what happens. I think I can actually see some start of new leaves down here. So I'm hoping that it's not the end of the jackfruit tree, because I would absolutely love a jackfruit tree. And maybe, if it does die, I'll just go back to the same guy. He only lives a few blocks from here, and it was like $5 for the jackfruit tree. So I can just buy another one, I think. But I'll just wait for another few weeks to see if it comes back. There's not too much new down at this end of the land, but it probably looks amazingly clean cut, because I actually, for the very first time ever, took a lawnmower to the whole half acre, and it made things way faster and easier, and it looks so much better. I mowed this a couple days ago, and already the grass is starting to come back up, which kind of breaks my heart, but not that I should be expecting anything other than growing for a whole lot of grass. But yeah, now that I've seen the light with the whole mower, the intent is to buy, because I was just borrowing the one a few days ago, and so now I would like to buy one and get an electric one, so once the house goes in and the solar panels are up and everything, I can just charge it off of solar. And I figured out kind of which one to get, but I just need to wait until the next time I'm in Townsville, and that probably won't be for another couple weeks, so I'll pick it up then. Probably the last, I didn't show you the sunflowers or the watermelon on the outside of the garden, but they're doing really well. They're growing really super fast, so probably in the next video there will be quite a big noticeable change with those ones. But the super big massive news that I am probably most excited about in the past week has been coming up here. And again, they're probably not much to look at right now. But it's these ones, and they're banana plants. There's a mix of Cavendish and ladyfinger, and they're really happy with that mix. I have currently 9 of them spaced roughly 2-ish meters apart all the way down. And they were given to me by the neighbors, and there's roughly about 20 more on the way. And they grow so quickly that, like this one here, I'm feeling pretty certain that this leaf here did not exist probably yesterday. I don't even think it was there yesterday. So I'm hoping that they just grow, and with the 20 other ones, really I'll be able to go all the way down. I mean, it's almost down to the garden now with the ones that I've got, but once I infill so that they're roughly every meter-ish, that'll be perfect. And then I think I can go all the way down to the far mulch mountains at the end with these banana plants. I just feel really lucky that those banana plants were available, and it was just kind of a sudden thing of like, hey, here's some banana plants. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Because before I was looking at planting papaya instead of the sugarcane. The sugarcane was doing really well, and it's actually come back quite quickly, but every time it gets just a little bit longer, the wallabies come by, and I guess apparently they really like the fresh new shoots off sugarcane, and so they just like chewed it all back. And it's definitely like it's starting to regrow and everything, because they had chewed it all the way back down to the base in some of these places. But that was my cue to be like, okay, abandon the sugarcane, because I'm never going to be able to get it off the ground if the wallabies keep coming by. And loving all of this new fresh sugarcane growth, and it would just never be able to grow to any size. But they seem to leave the banana plants and papaya alone, and that means that they actually stand a chance. So I think that wraps up all of or at least most of the new news. And it's sort of a different time of day. I normally do the videos in the morning or like sort of around noon-ish. So the afternoon, because it gets all of the shade, it just has such a different feel to it. Like the very far end, you can see that is always drenched in sun, but the afternoons here in this part of the land are just really much cooler, because obviously it's all shaded, and then there's often a nice breeze coming through as well in the afternoon. So I'm trying to kind of move my general time on the land to be in the afternoon wherever I can, rather than first thing in the morning. And especially now that the seedlings most of them are getting big enough so that they don't get all droopy and wilty by like 10:30 in the morning after a few hours of sun without water. So I don't feel like I need to come here in the morning at 10:30 anymore. So it's just starting to feel nice and peaceful. I can hear the birds starting to ramp up their late afternoon and evening activities and chatty chats. So this is where I'll leave it.